The great Tibetan master Milarepa once said, "In times of great change and upheaval, the practitioner who knows how to harness the winds of transformation will fly toward enlightenment, while those who resist will be scattered like dust." These words, spoken centuries ago, resonate with profound relevance as we stand at the threshold of 2026, a year pulsing with unprecedented transformative power. The firehorse energies coursing through this year offer rare conditions for deepening meditation practice in ways that ordinary years simply cannot match. If you're ready to discover how to transform this year's cosmic intensity into fuel for your spiritual awakening, subscribe now and activate notifications so you never miss teachings that could catalyze your breakthrough into deeper realization. Understanding how to use specific yearly energies for meditation practice represents one of the most sophisticated aspects of Tibetan Buddhist training. Unlike approaches that view meditation as a contextual technique performed identically regardless of circumstances, Tibetan tradition recognizes that external conditions profoundly influence internal practice. The elements flowing through the environment, the planetary positions affecting subtle energies, and the collective karmic atmosphere all create a field within which individual practice unfolds. Skillful practitioners learn to read these conditions and adjust their methods accordingly, much as skilled sailors adjust their sails to work with prevailing winds rather than against them. The year 2026, governed by Firehorse in Chinese astrology and carrying specific astrological signatures in the Tibetan Kartsi and Jungsi systems, offers particular advantages for certain meditation practices while presenting challenges for others. Fire element energy, when properly understood and channeled, enhances practices related to wisdom, insight, and the burning away of obscurations. The horse element brings dynamic movement energy that, when harnessed skillfully, can propel consciousness beyond habitual limitations. Together, these energies create optimal conditions for breakthrough experiences in meditation, provided we approach practice with appropriate methods and understanding. Let us begin with the foundation of all Tibetan Buddhist meditation, the practice of Shamatha, or calm abiding. This fundamental training develops the mind's natural stability, clarity, and strength. Without Shamatha as a foundation, more advanced practices lack the necessary basis for success. The traditional analogy compares the untrained mind to a waterfall, consciousness cascading chaotically from one thought to another without rest or control. Through Shamatha practice, this waterfall gradually transforms into a flowing river, then a gently moving lake, and finally a still ocean reflecting reality without distortion. This progression typically requires years of consistent practice, but certain conditions can accelerate development significantly. The fire element prominent in 2026 actually supports Shamatha cultivation when approached correctly. Fire possesses a focusing quality, concentrating energy at a single point, much as flames naturally draw upward to a point. This concentrating tendency can be directed toward the meditation object, whether breath, visualized image, or another focus point. However, fire's intensity also creates challenges, as excessive heat generates restlessness, one of the primary obstacles to developing calm abiding. The key lies in balancing fire's focusing power while cooling its agitating tendencies. This balance can be achieved through specific techniques uniquely suited to firehorse year conditions. First, consider the timing of your meditation sessions during 2026. According to Tibetan astrological understanding, different times of day carry different elemental qualities. Fire element naturally predominates during midday when the sun reaches its zenith, while water and earth elements dominate at dawn and dusk. For Shamatha practice during a firehorse year, early morning sessions between dawn and sunrise prove optimal. During these hours, the natural cooling of water and earth elements balances the external fire influence, creating ideal conditions for developing stability without restlessness. Even if your schedule permits only one session daily, prioritizing this pre-dawn time multiplies the effectiveness of your practice during 2026. Second, adapt your meditation posture and environment to harmonize with fire energies. Traditional 7-point meditation posture establishes the proper channels and energies for practice, but subtle adjustments prove beneficial during firehorse years. Sit on a slightly cooler surface, perhaps stone or tile rather than wool cushions. allowing earth element to ground excess fire. Position yourself facing north rather than east, as northern direction carries cooling qualities that balance southern fire. Keep your practice space slightly cooler than you might normally prefer, as the internal heat generated through concentration will be amplified by external fire energies. These adjustments may seem minor, but they significantly impact your ability to remain focused yet relaxed throughout longer sessions. Third, work directly with the breath to modulate fire energy within meditation practice. In Tibetan yoga systems, breath is understood as the vehicle for prana or lung, the vital energy that moves through subtle channels in the body. Fire Horse Year intensifies this vital energy, making it more powerful but also more volatile. A simple breathing technique balances this volatility while enhancing concentration. As you settle into meditation posture, spend the first 5 minutes practicing cooling breath. Inhale slowly through slightly pursed lips as if drawing breath through a straw, visualizing cool moonlight entering your body. Exhale normally through the nostrils, releasing heat and restlessness. After 5 minutes of cooling breath, transition to normal breathing while maintaining the inner sense of cool spaciousness this technique generates. This preparation prevents fire energy from destabilizing your practice, while allowing you to harness its focusing power. The horse element of 2026 brings different qualities requiring different adaptations. Horse energy is movement, dynamism, and the vitality that cannot remain still. This seems antithetical to meditation, which we often imagine as sitting motionless for extended periods. Yet Tibetan tradition includes movement practices specifically designed to work with dynamic energies. During Fire Horse years, incorporating brief movement sequences before sitting, meditation proves especially beneficial. Prostrations, a traditional preliminary practice, serve this purpose perfectly. The rhythmic sequence of standing, bowing, and rising works directly with horse's movement energy, expressing it physically before attempting to settle the mind. Even 9 prostrations before sitting creates noticeable difference in the quality of subsequent meditation, as the body's need for movement has been acknowledged and channeled. For practitioners with more training, the advanced practice of yoga during Fire Horse years accelerates progress dramatically. The term yoga here refers not to modern postural yoga, but to the profound meditation practices found in texts like the 6 yogas of Naropa. These yogas work directly with the subtle body, the network of channels, energies, and essence drops that Vajrayana Buddhism recognizes as the basis for consciousness. Fire Horse energy naturally activates the subtle body, creating both opportunity and danger. For practitioners who have received proper transmission and instruction in these yogas, 2026 offers rare conditions for swift advancement. However, attempting these practices without proper preparation and guidance can lead to energetic imbalances and psychological difficulties. This is why Tibetan tradition emphasizes qualified teachers and authentic transmission before engaging advanced methods. Even without formal yoga training, all meditators can work with visualization practices suited to 2026's energies. Visualization, or deity yoga, stands as one of Tibetan Buddhism's most distinctive practices. Rather than viewing meditation as simply emptying the mind, Vajrayana tradition employs the mind's capacity to generate images as a path to transformation. During Fire Horse years, visualizations involving wisdom deities associated with fire element prove especially powerful. Manjushri, the bodhisattva of wisdom who appears as a youthful prince wielding a flaming sword, embodies exactly the qualities that fire energy can manifest in its highest form. Meditating on Manjushri during 2026 naturally harmonizes your practice with the year's elemental signature. A simple Manjushri visualization suitable for practitioners at any level begins with taking refuge in generating bodhicitta motivation. Then visualize, in the space before you at the level of your forehead, a golden throne supported by snow lions. Upon this throne sits a lotus flower, and upon the lotus sits a moon disk. From the moon disk, orange-gold light radiates outward. This light gradually coalesces into the form of Manjushri, appearing as a beautiful 16-year-old youth with golden-orange skin. His right hand raises a flaming sword of wisdom toward the sky, symbolizing the cutting through of ignorance. His left hand, at his heart, holds the stem of a lotus flower that blooms at his left shoulder, upon which rests a text representing the perfection of wisdom teachings. He sits in the Vajra posture, adorned with silks and jewels, smiling with compassion and radiant with awakened presence. Rest your attention on this visualization, allowing it to become increasingly clear and stable. When your mind wanders, gently return to the image. As the visualization stabilizes, begin to feel that Manjushri is not an external figure but rather a manifestation of your own wisdom nature, temporarily appearing in this form to guide your practice. His flaming sword represents your own discriminating awareness that can cut through confusion. The perfection of wisdom text represents your own potential for complete understanding. The more deeply you identify with this wisdom nature rather than viewing Manjushri as separate from yourself, the more powerful the practice becomes. Conclude by visualizing Manjushri dissolving into light that enters your body through your crown, filling you completely with wisdom, clarity, and blessing. Rest briefly in the afterglow of this dissolution before dedicating the merit of your practice. This Manjushri visualization, practiced even briefly at the beginning or end of regular meditation sessions throughout 2026, harmonizes your practice with firehorse energies while invoking blessings of the wisdom lineage. You may find that insights arise more readily, concentration develops more swiftly, and obstacles to practice diminish when working with visualizations aligned with the year's astrological signature. If you're feeling inspired to deepen your meditation practice this year, give this video a like to help share these teachings with others seeking the same transformation. Beyond specific techniques, the mental approach to meditation during 2026 requires particular attention. Firehorse energy amplifies whatever it contacts, including both positive qualities and negative tendencies. If you approach meditation with genuine aspiration and pure motivation, this energy magnifies your progress. But if you practice with ego involvement, seeking impressive experiences or spiritual accomplishment to bolster self-image, the same energy magnifies pride and delusion. Therefore, repeatedly examining and purifying your motivation becomes even more crucial during firehorse years than usual. Before each session, take time to consciously generate bodhicitta, the awakened heart that seeks enlightenment not for personal gain, but for the ability to benefit all beings more effectively. The traditional bodhicitta generation involves contemplating the suffering of all beings caught in cyclic existence, recognizing that all beings have been your mother in previous lives and shown you immeasurable kindness, and arousing the heartfelt wish to free them from suffering and establish them in lasting happiness. With this motivation, you determine to attain complete enlightenment as swiftly as possible, understanding that only a fully awakened Buddha possesses the skillful means and wisdom to truly help all beings. Holding this motivation, you dedicate your meditation session toward that enlightened goal. Even if your actual meditation practice still focuses on basic techniques like breath awareness, framing it within bodhicitta motivation transforms it from self-centered development into a step on the path to universal benefit. The practice of analytical meditation gains particular potency during 2026's Firehorse configuration. Analytical meditation involves using reasoning and contemplation to investigate the nature of reality, gradually undermining habitual wrong views and developing correct understanding. While stabilizing meditation like Shamatha cultivates concentration, analytical meditation cultivates wisdom. The two must be developed in balance, as concentration without wisdom leads to mere blissful states without liberating insight, while wisdom without concentration lacks the power to penetrate deeply into reality's nature. Fire's illuminating quality especially enhances analytical meditation, as fire naturally dispels darkness and reveals what was hidden. A fundamental analytical meditation investigates the nature of self. We habitually assume the existence of a solid, independent, unchanging self that possesses the body and mind, that experiences pleasure and pain, that moves from life to life in rebirth. Yet when we search carefully for this self, it cannot be found. The body is not the self, as bodies change constantly and can be lost without consciousness ceasing. The mind is not the self, as mind too is constantly changing, consisting of momentary awarenesses that arise and dissolve. Neither body and mind together nor something separate from body and mind can be identified as the self. This absence of findable self does not mean we don't exist at all, but rather that we exist as dependently originated rather than independently existing entities. This realization of selflessness stands as the entry point to direct perception of emptiness, the ultimate nature of all phenomena. During meditation sessions in 2026, alternate between stabilizing and analytical practice. Begin with Shamatha to calm and focus the mind. Once stability is established, shift to analytical investigation. Choose a topic from Buddhist philosophy, such as selflessness, impermanence, or the faults of samsara. Using reasoning and scripture studied previously, analyze the topic carefully. When reasoning leads to a conclusion, rest single-pointedly on that conclusion, allowing it to deepen from intellectual understanding toward direct experience. When the conclusion fades and the mind begins to wander, return either to analytical examination or to shamatha, depending on whether you need more clarity or more stability. This alternation between the two meditation types develops both wings needed to fly toward enlightenment, concentration, and wisdom. The firehorse intensity of 2026 may bring challenges to meditation practice as well as opportunities. Restlessness, one of the 5 hindrances to meditation, naturally increases when fire element predominates. You may find yourself more easily distracted, less able to sit still, plagued by racing thoughts or agitation. Rather than fighting these experiences, recognize them as the workings of elemental imbalance and apply appropriate antidotes. When restlessness becomes strong, switch temporarily to a heavier meditation object such as earth element itself. Visualize your body becoming increasingly heavy, made of dense stone or metal, sinking into the earth. Feel gravity pulling you downward, grounding the upward shooting fire energy. This grounding visualization, practiced for even 3 to 5 minutes, reestablishes balance and allows you to return to regular meditation with renewed stability. Conversely, some practitioners may experience the opposite effect, as fire burns away the dullness and torpor that often plague meditation. If you typically struggle with sleepiness, dullness, or lack of clarity during practice, 2026's energies may naturally resolve these problems. However, you must still apply effort appropriately, as fire energy cannot overcome dullness if you approach practice with wrong attitude or insufficient preparation. Ensure you're well rested before sitting, as meditation requires alertness that a fatigued body cannot provide. Position yourself in a bright space with good ventilation. If drowsiness begins during practice, open your eyes wider, look upward slightly, refresh your posture, and visualize bright light filling your body and consciousness. These simple adjustments allow fire energy to manifest as clarity rather than allowing opposing tendencies to dominate. The collective nature of 2026's energies means that meditation benefits extend beyond individual practitioners to the entire web of consciousness within which we're embedded. According to Mahayana Buddhist philosophy, individual and collective consciousness are not ultimately separate but rather interdependently related. When your meditation deepens, you affect not only your own mental continuum, but the entire field of awareness that includes all beings. Studies have demonstrated this principle empirically, showing that when sufficient numbers of people practice meditation in a particular area, measurable decreases in violence and conflict occur throughout that region. This phenomenon reflects the profound interconnection Buddhist philosophy has always recognized. Therefore, committing to deep meditation practice during 2026 serves far more than your individual development. You become a beneficial influence on the collective consciousness navigating this intense year. Each moment of genuine meditation, each insight that penetrates through delusion, each experience of loving kindness or compassion that arises in your practice sends ripples throughout the interdependent web, influencing others in ways subtle yet real. This understanding should inspire diligent practice, recognizing that your meditation mat is not a place of escape from the world, but a position from which you benefit the world most effectively. Group meditation practice gains enhanced power during firehorse years. When individual fire energies combine, they amplify each other, creating a collective intensity far exceeding what solitary practitioners generate. If you have access to a meditation community or sangha, make special effort to attend group practice sessions during 2026. If you practice alone, Consider organizing regular online meditation sessions with fellow practitioners, even if you're geographically distant. The simple act of practicing simultaneously, knowing others are engaged in the same activity with shared intention, creates energetic connection that strengthens individual practice while building collective merit. Retreat practice during 2026 offers exceptional opportunities for breakthrough experiences. Retreat means withdrawing from ordinary activities and distractions to focus completely on meditation practice for an extended period. Traditional Tibetan retreats last 3 years and 3 months. But even shorter retreats of 1 week or 1 weekend provide conditions for deepening far beyond what daily practice sessions can achieve. If possible, undertake at least one brief retreat during 2026, perhaps during significant astrological moments like the February transition into Firehorse year, or during summer months when fire element naturally peaks. The combination of intensive practice with Firehorse energies can catalyze experiences and realizations that might take years to develop during ordinary conditions. For practitioners unable to undertake formal retreat, create mini-retreats within daily life. Dedicate an entire weekend day to intensive practice, maintaining silence, eating simply, and alternating sitting meditation with walking meditation throughout the day. Or commit to a daily meditation schedule more intensive than usual for 1 month, perhaps an hour each morning and evening, rather than your typical shorter sessions. Even these modest increases in practice intensity, sustained over weeks or months during 2026, accumulate significant momentum due to the energetic support the year provides. The ultimate meditation practice in Tibetan Buddhism, found especially in Dzogchen and Mahamudra traditions, involves resting in the nature of mind itself, without artificial meditation object or contrived technique. This natural state, called Rigpa in Dzogchen, represents the fundamental purity and awareness that is our true nature, beyond all conceptual elaboration. While advanced practices require direct introduction from realized teachers, even beginning practitioners can receive glimpses of this nature. During 2026, the fire element's illuminating quality creates particularly favorable conditions for recognizing mind's true nature. In moments when meditation is going well, when thoughts have temporarily subsided and awareness rests naturally without force or effort, simply relax completely and look directly at awareness itself. Don't look for something to find, but rather recognize the awareness that's already present, the knowing capacity without which you couldn't experience anything at all. Even brief glimpses of this nature plant seeds for future realization and connect you with the ultimate goal toward which all practices aim. As you develop your meditation practice throughout 2026, maintain realistic expectations balanced with genuine aspiration. Firehorse energies do indeed create exceptional conditions, but they don't eliminate the need for patient, consistent effort. Meditation mastery develops gradually through accumulation of practice hours and repeated application of methods. Some sessions will feel profound, and others will feel ordinary or even difficult. This variation is normal and does not indicate failure. What matters is the consistency of practice over time, rather than the quality of any individual session. Like water gradually wearing away stone, gentle, persistent meditation practice transforms consciousness far more effectively than occasional intense efforts followed by long gaps. Keep a simple meditation log during 2026, noting date, duration, and perhaps one sentence about each session. This log provides encouragement on difficult days. When reviewing it shows the accumulation of practice you've sustained. It also helps identify patterns, revealing which times of day or which techniques work best for your situation. And it creates accountability, making it harder to skip sessions when you must record the gap. This simple discipline significantly enhances practice consistency, allowing you to fully capitalize on 2026's supportive energies. What specific meditation challenges do you hope to overcome this year? What breakthroughs are you working toward? Sharing your aspirations in the comments creates public commitment while building community with fellow practitioners. Let's support each other in making 2026 a year of genuine spiritual progress. The Firehorse year will pass, its particular energies eventually giving way to new configurations with different qualities and different opportunities. But the meditation skills you develop during 2026 The insights you realize and the positive karma you create will continue bearing fruit throughout this life and beyond. In Tibetan Buddhist understanding, spiritual development is never lost. Even if circumstances prevent formal practice for periods of time, the realizations gained through previous practice remain as seeds in the mental continuum, ready to remanifest when conditions allow. Therefore, every moment invested in meditation during this auspicious year builds a foundation that supports your development eternally. Think of 2026 as a rare weather pattern that creates perfect sailing conditions. The destination, enlightenment for the benefit of all beings, remains the same regardless of conditions, but skillful sailors take advantage of favorable winds to make swifter progress toward that destination. By understanding 2026's particular energies and adjusting your meditation practice accordingly, you harness these cosmic winds for your journey toward awakening. The techniques shared in this teaching, from cooling breath to Manjushri visualization to alternating analytical and stabilizing meditation, provide practical methods for sailing skillfully through the year ahead. Remember always that meditation practice exists not as an end in itself, but as a means toward the end of complete enlightenment. That enlightenment in turn is sought not for personal attainment, but for the ability to liberate all beings from suffering. This vast motivation, this commitment to universal benefit, transforms even the simplest meditation technique into part of the Mahayana path. As you apply these teachings during 2026, maintain this bodhicitta motivation, ensuring that your increasing meditation skill serves the greatest possible purpose. As we conclude, I invite you to commit specifically to deepening your meditation practice during this powerful year. Choose one technique shared today that resonates with your current level and situation. Commit to practicing it daily, even if only briefly, throughout 2026. Notice how this consistency, supported by the year's special energies, transforms your practice and your consciousness. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so now to continue receiving teachings that support your journey. Enable notifications so you never miss guidance when you need it. And share this video with anyone who would benefit from understanding how to work with 2026's energies for meditation deepening. Together, as a community of sincere practitioners supporting each other with wisdom and compassion, we can ensure that this rare firehorse year becomes a turning point in our collective journey toward awakening. May all beings benefit from the merit of our practice. May our meditation contribute to the enlightenment of every sentient being without exception. May 2026 be remembered as the year when your practice truly deepened, when breakthrough occurred, and when you turned irreversibly toward complete awakening for the benefit of all.